switched over. Make sure Twitch is working right. For some reason, the last couple of times I've tried to stream, it always like the player craps out on me and then says restart.
I have problems like that with the work PC.
There we go.
Like, would you like to do an update now? No, I'd like to start my shift at work.
So particular. Alrighty. So as a recap, while we wait for Tony and Tegan, over the course of the last several games, it started off with you meeting in a tavern, facing some undead, and from there your lives got progressively more interesting. There was some cult activity here and there. There was war spreading, civil war spreading throughout the empire after the death of the emperor at the hands of the orcs. There was danger of mass starvation, a winter that never seemed to end, some issues with some nearby dwarves, and it all sort of culminated in you discovering that the Summer Queen had been captured / kidnapped by Old Man Winter. Apparently, he had grown tired of their somewhat flirtatious chase and made a deal with a demon to gain assistance in capturing her. You're still not sure entirely why. This demon, one of multiple heralds of the void, had been sent forth to prepare the world for the arrival of his master. Several of these heralds had gone to prepare the world, spread strife, war, famine, just basically overall make the world a much, much darker and shittier place. So the demon world could, or the demon lord could manifest. In tracking down this herald, you discovered that the reason he had made the deal with Old Man Winter is to acquire an artifact called the Sword of Unmaking. A powerful weapon capable of killing anything. And the rumors are transfer the essence of what is killed to the wielder. His plan was to acquire the sword and then wait for his master to manifest and strike him down, claim the throne. The hitch in his plan is that the Sword of Unmaking was hidden away by the elves in the city of Alfheim, a place where demons are forbidden to travel. So he had found Old Man Winter, who is a powerful primordial being, and more importantly, not a demon, who would be capable of breaching the barrier to Alfheim and retrieving the sword for him. So that was their deal. I help you capture the Queen of Summer, you get me the sword. You journey to Alfheim, proving yourselves worthy of visiting it by defeating a monstrous creature called the Jabberwock. And were, I won't say welcomed, but accepted into Alfheim. Some pretty fancy talking by some of you managed to get the Queen to acquiesce to your request to check on the sword, to make sure it was okay, to make sure it was still safely secured. She led you into the vault underneath the palace. You saw that the sword was still in place, and that's when you notice the temperature in the vault starting to get noticeably colder, as winter is undoubtedly approaching.
Yee.
And I believe that's where we are.
Yeah, it's the right pig's ear, this is.
So we will We'll start a little bit later than usual once everybody gets here, and we will probably end earlier so that Don can stay for the whole session. Hopefully, timing wise, that works out.
No worries.
Just so that in case anybody dies or anything else happens during the final session here, that everybody is here for it.
You know, I'm surprised nothing came out of that baby.
Had you pursued the cults, that would have played more into it. There's a couple of different things happening behind the scenes, as it were, and whichever plot thread you guys decided to follow through on would be the one that led into the finale.
You know, I forgot all about the baby.
So yes, there was a plot with the baby. There was a plot with the undead. There was like several other things happening. So had you guys not decided to pursue this unending winter, there were other threads that would have led you to a perhaps different climax.
Somewhere, somehow, the damn dirty troglodytes.
Somewhere, somehow. Aha, there's Tony.
Hello, hello.
Speaking of damn dirty troglodytes.
Hello. So we just finished the kind of the broad overview of everything that's happened so far. I was just letting everybody know that had you pursued a different plot thread earlier on, I had different avenues. So there was one with the child and the cults. There was one with the undead and so on and so forth, depending on which thread you guys decided to follow up on.
And we obviously chose the best one.
Obviously. So you guys are in the vault in Alfheim. The sword is there, kind of hanging sort of Damocles style above a stone pedestal. It is a blacker than black greatsword, just hanging, hovering above this pedestal, still in place, still where it's supposed to be. But you guys have all noticed that the temperature has dropped precipitously here in the vault.
I noticed they never thought to put it in a box or something. Just right out on display.
If demons can't get here, they probably think they don't need to.
Well, it's not the demon. It's winter. That's the problem.
Oh, let's not delve into the many hubrises of the elves. I don't think we have that much time.
I guess the biggest question is there any particular wards around this particular thing, or is it just
On your way down here, you did see arcane sigils inscribed along the walls and along the doors. It is definitely warded to some degree.
What is floating?
is the pedestal? Can I tell?
Give me in a perception check with 2 boons for all of your magic study.
I assume it's not there to just make it look fancy.
21.
Yes, there are elvish runes around the base of the pedestal that glow ever so faintly to your trained arcane eye.
What do we have a plan?
Ha! When have we ever had a plan?
Would be nice if we did.
Well, we've sort of seen what Old Man Winter is capable of. I'm sure once he arrives here, he'll want to make some showy sort of speech or something, something like that. You know, Ponzi fairy type things. And probably while he's doing that, we take the opportunity to kick his arse up between his ears.
Or maybe the good elves here will allow us to use this particular weapon to drive off Old Man Winter and save the world.
Oh, sure. That sounds completely likely. You go ahead and ask them what they think of that plan.
I mean, it couldn't hurt.
It
And
might.
Might.
better Bismarck do it than you or me. Or Ruth.
If you're looking for me to argue against you, it's not going to happen.
Oh, you want me to talk to?
I think that would probably be our best bet.
Oh, I'm quite aware of what they think of me, and I'm fine with it.
Oh, well, I probably doomed. Elves and gentlemen, ladies.
I'll just use the nymph token for the fairy queen who is with you. And everybody give me a perception check.
Just straight up.
Just straight up, unless you specifically have a like keen hearing or something. But I think you'll
Good.
get those rolls out of the way now.
Seems to me I can't be surprised.
Yep, it's not a surprise thing.
Okay.
And all of your explorer / ranger boons should already be included on your character sheet. So.
It's apparently quite surprising how a metal helmet can dampen one's hearing.
Hmm. Unless you're getting whacked on said helmet, and then it's incredibly loud. Just tossing it out there.
Oh, I know full well.
And Bismarck rolled 21 both times.
I don't know if anybody's taken more hits than Thagor.
So Thagor, Sif and Bismarck, and maybe Ruth, but you guys can hear fighting and shouting in the hallways outside the vault. The clanging of sword. Both of you rolled really well. It doesn't sound like metal on metal. It sounds more like maybe metal on glass. Like you can definitely hear things shattering.
This ain't good.
Yes, anyone else getting a bad feeling?
Right. So,
we've
Fairy,
called the board.
whoever's in
It's
charge,
not big enough.
You're gonna have to clarify. I've had a bad feeling since we got here.
Well, there's that too.
Where's the entrance to this down south there? I see. All right, we should form up there, and someone give me access to this particular sword so I can ward it against the winter fellow.
So the queen will kind of like concentrate for a second, and you can you can feel as even though the temperature in the vault is getting cooler and cooler, you feel this warmth flow through you. This like rejuvenation sort of thing. All of you feel slightly younger, perhaps. Like the weight of the last couple of days and the hard travel through the mist woods and the fight with the Jabberwock and everything have been released. So everybody heals fully and regains any expended spells.
Ugh.
And it also replenishes if you've used like your catch your breath. Basically, it's the equivalent of getting a rest.
All right.
Nothing for insanity or corruption, though, huh?
Don't
No.
like it. Makes my toes itch.
I don't feel older too.
So yeah, so you guys are going to form up near the doorway.
And Biz is asking permission to actually approach that sword. But he's not going to walk through Ward Tree.
The queen will look at you, say, "Just be warned, the sword has not feasted in centuries. It is not for the weak of will."
If I do my job properly, I won't have to touch it.
Okay. She will release the words, and you do see like giving everybody the rest equivalent and temporarily suppressing the wards does seem to take a toll on her. She's an elf and largely ageless, but you do see like the faintest little bits of like crow's feet around her eyes. This is definitely taking a toll on her to suppress these wards.
I always think it's funny how beings that claim to be immortal seem to die just fine.
I say we prep if we have time to prep.
Oh, I'm ready.
We know what's crashing around out there?
You do not.
So how we want to do this? Do we want to do this round by round kind of deal?
I'll let everybody do what they want to prep. And basically everybody can have like a couple of rounds to get into position to do whatever they want, and then we'll see what happens.
I'm going to pull out Heartkill, my fancy new bow, just in case.
Nothing I have changes, so I will move over and guard their little robot friend.
I assume the fancy elf sword is out of juice, eh?
The Vorpal sword, it no longer cuts off heads. It does still give you an extra or 2 extra boons when you attack with it.
That's fair enough, I suppose.
Give me a second. I should be able to actually change that. There we go.
Tagore will tuck it into his belt for now and draw his warhammer.
Okay. Right. Bismarck, what are you doing?
First round that we have, I'm going to cast Harness Magic.
Okay.
for 5.
Okay. And Jinx, what would you like to do?
Well, I kind of want to hold off on casting Arcane Shield till last minute because it only lasts a minute. I don't think any of my other spells are actually going to be of useful use in here or at this time. It's so basically I assume we're assuming it's Father Winter has come to town.
There was definite Sif and Bismarck could tell that there were sounds of fighting in the hallway leading to the vault. Sounded like stone on glass, and everybody's just kind of getting ready for something to happen.
And the elf lady also seems concerned and seems to think the threat's real and not our fault.
She thinks it's real enough that she's essentially given you all the equivalent of a rest, so everybody is fully healed and all of your spells are fully replenished.
Oh, that's really good to know. Yeah, that's actually useful because I had damage. So we're in a room with the door. I'll kind of try to be sort of at an angle to the door, so I'm not the first thing that whatever comes through sees, and we'll have a bit of a side angle.
So yeah, the door is down this way. You see the Elvish wardens that escorted you basically kind of take up position so that they can get
Oh,
ready for
okay.
anything that comes in.
I see. We've got kind of like this nice little. So the Elvish wardens are around the doorway. So if I move,
I mean, Thagor's in a defensive position too, but he's fully willing to let them die first.
so kind of
Yeah.
where I just moved down is sort of I basically got the partial cover of the wall.
Perfect. All right. Next round. Is anybody doing anything? Just kind of holding, getting ready?
Just holding.
Yep, getting prepped.
I have many rounds of stuff to do, depending on how many you want to give me.
Okay. All right. Well, so what would Bismarck like to do next?
Second round, he'll cast Arcane Retribution. I
Okay.
don't know why I rolled the die, but so you
Uh,
roll the die.
yeah, I rolled the die because apparently I had your token selected. Okay. Okay. So yep. So you throw up your Arcane Retribution. So this shimmering field goes around you.
Hey, Bismarck, you think you could blow that thing up if you had to?
About to find out, I think. Well, I mean, blow it up. I'm going to understand it very soon, but we're going to wait before for bad guys to show up before we try to ward it. You know what I mean?
I haven't the foggiest.
I have the ability to get rid of magic, but I think it's too powerful for me.
You guys do know that you did at one point ask why the elves had destroyed the sword, and the answer was it can't be destroyed.
Yeah, I'm lying.
Yeah, but they say a lot of shit.
In the second round, I want to cast Arcane Shield,
Okay.
as I assume stuff is coming closer.
I'm just saying, every elf that we have met so far has talked a lot of smack, and not a lot of show.
All right. So just as Jinx throws up her shield and the arcane energy starts to swirl around Bismarck, in the doorway you see these creatures look like they're made out of pure ice, like all points and jagged edges, like anything that could possibly be a point on these creatures. So like their elbows, their fingertips, their knees, their toes, just made out of solid ice, standing about 5 feet tall. They come through the door, and behind them you just see bits and pieces of frozen and shattered elves from the various things that they fought along the way.
Oh dear.
Oh crap! Looks like we blew the special effects budget already. We're down to polygons.
That's
I was
not
gonna say
good.
I've seen this Rankin Bass special.
And everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
I would very much like to be fast. I mean, for all the good it's likely to do me.
So that will take us to Bismarck, Ruth, and Sif.
Sif, do you want to go first?
Sure. I will aim with Heart Kill at the first one through and try to shoot it.
Are you activating it with corruption?
I'd prefer not to.
Okay.
But can I use my hunt and prey?
You can, yes.
Okay, so I would like to do that. $21?
21 is a hit.
Excellent.
So yes, that will trigger all of the damage. So that's the sword, that's that. You do get an extra d6 as well because you have marked it as your prey.
So there's the initial roll.
And then it would be another 3d6.
Oh, there's the extra d6 for having marked it.
Okay.
And an extra 3d6?
And an extra 2d6 after that.
Just take the first two of that, whatever they are.
So that's
3 and 2.
yep. So 5, 19. So yeah, so you let loose with your arrow, and it strikes this creature hard, and you can see cracks start to form all around it. It's not dead, but it is it is pretty gravely injured.
Is it just the three of them, or is there more behind them?
You can't see. You might be able to see from back there. Give me a perception check. Yes, you can see that there are more behind them.
Okay.
Many, many more.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
In that case, I'll just fire the crossbow. I will hold off my other plan until more get in here.
Okay.
Chris, because of my combat mastery, did you have me do the extra d6 with the bow, or?
Yes, it's 2d6 plus 2 for heart kill. It's an extra d6 for combat prowess. It's an extra d6 for forceful strike. It is an extra d6 for marked target.
Okay, combat mastery says that when I attack with a weapon, I either deal an extra d6 as well, or I make another attack against a different target before the end of my turn.
Right, there should be one more d6, so we'll take the last one that you rolled.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Ignore that. Clicked the wrong thing. But so yeah, so Ruth fires off the crossbow and it just glances off that icy hide. Bismarck.
I'm gonna do a stupid.
Oh,
But
Please do.
Jinx could save me if it's really, really bad. I am going to cast Spellbound
Alright, you're
Weapon
not allowed on
on
it.
the sword.
Alrighty. Okay. So yeah, so you kind of reach out, you touch the sword of unmaking, and you bind a part of it to your soul, and you can feel this hunger, this desire for power. Give me a willpower check with 2 banes.
Sure. -4.
All right. So you connected this sword, and it overwhelms you to the extent that your internal functioning just stops. You turn into a little wind-up toy.
Can I use a triggered action before that happens?
You cannot. Well, it depends. What's the trigger for the action?
So on my turn, I can use a triggered action to invest greater power into the sword by expending a spell.
I will say no, because as you spellbind it, that's when your mechanism seize up.
Valid?
Slow actions. That will take us to Jinx and Thagor.
Oh crap!
Oh, if only the little scorpion had told me of his plan. As I read the spell and know that I also have the ability to bring things to hand.
Ruth, wind him up, will you? Got work to do over here.
All right.
I'm gonna probably shoot an arrow at the incoming.
Okay.
I figure it's. I'm not gonna worry about grabbing a melee weapon when everything's at ranged right now.
I think Thagor is going to swing his hammer at each of the first 2.
Okay.
I don't know why that double rolled. I only clicked it once. But I think I succeeded either way with the 19.
Yes, a 19 hits.
I got an 11 and an 18.
So yeah, you strike out at these, and they are like solid ice. You chip off little bits and pieces, but not enough to actually gain any purchase.
Oh, 18 doesn't hit either?
It does not.
Oh, fun.
And actually, the 19 glances off as well.
Oh, if only the second number worked, right?
19 doesn't hit. Oh shit.
19 doesn't hit.
Which means my 21 probably would have.
So the elves let loose with some bows. Or spears, sorry. They drop one. You do notice that the elves are attacking as like a unit.
They're making us look bad.
Meh.
That's only an 11. So that one. That is a 15 against Thagor's agility.
Gets agility.
Agility.
Is this the sort of thing that is a no, I don't make a save or anything, do I? So I don't add my
Correct. It is a spell, but
ugh. Bastards. I have a 10. I have a 10.
Oh wait, spell.
Yep,
Can I spell steal it?
you can certainly try.
I haven't got to use it yet, so you know. Or I've only failed with it the time I've used it. So
Have at her.
let me find it.
So you make an intellect roll against their intellect.
Let's hope
All
they're
right, so
feeling dumb.
it's not listed the correct number of times I have it. So just doing it in the intellect roll.
Yep.
Did the number of times I get to use a boon with an attack go up? I get
You can do it twice on your turn.
I'm rolling this with a boon then, because I've got that second one.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So this ice creature in front of you, Thagor, it starts to like weave this magic, and you can feel this cold hitting you, and then Jinx just kind of reaches out and snatches the spell. So Jinx, you have one casting of the freeze spell until you use it.
Thanks, Jinx.
I mean, I don't think it can be very good against people that this is their element, but it's worth a try.
The other one's just going to strike out at you with this this glistening sword of ice, but miss.
Good. Never liked him anyway.
And you do see Thago. You see more of them coming in behind those two.
There's more coming.
Of course there are.
So that will be the end of the round. Everybody can decide if they're going to be fast or slow.
Slow.
Fast.
Very, very slow.
Alrighty. So Sif and Thago, you guys are both on fast.
I would like to shoot one of the ones that I can see.
Okay.
I think they're still
No.
within range.
I'll take 2 more swings with the Warhammer.
Uh, 22 will hit. 11 will not.
I remember now that I can re-roll the 11
Yep.
and turn it into a 13, which makes it a 19.
You rolled so you have
No,
it. Plus 8, 20,
21.
21 is a hit.
Sweet. Okay, that's plus 1d6 to each of those, I think.
You get to do so that's your normal damage, that's your forceful strike, and then you get an extra, I think, 3d6 split between the two of them.
Okay.
So 2d6 to one and 1d6 to the other.
No, that's not bad. So the first one's 18 damage, and the second one is 12.
All right, definitely 2 solid hits, and you can see cracks, like they're starting to get that kind of like spidery look through the ice.
Mm.
Okay, Sif, you're up.
All right. I'd like to wind up Bismarck and cast a spell. Is that allowed?
Sure. Sif goes before you though,
Sure.
just in case it changed what your action is.
I'm going to mark whichever one. I'll go with this one.
Okay.
I don't know if I can make him. There it is.
Yep.
Okay. Ooh,
Oh, 25 is definitely hit.
nice. Trigger the extra damage.
Yep.
Now, do I roll that extra damage if I'm going to take a second shot?
You can attack up to, you can do 3d6 damage to one target, or 2d6 and 1d6 to two targets, or base damage to three targets.
Okay, I'll do 2.
Okay.
So the weapon itself does.
So 2d6, so your first target is going to take 2d6 plus 2, plus a d6 for rolling a 20 or better, plus a d6 because it's marked, and then 2 more d6. So it'd be a total of 5d6 plus 2, I believe.
Okay. There's the initial.
Okay.
And then there's the d20. And then it's 2 more on top of that?
2 more on top of that. So,
19 total?
yep, got it.
And then I will hit the one directly in front of Thagor. That's the one that he was bashing on.
Yeah, the 2 in front of him he bashed.
Okay. Just check my line of sight here. Oh yeah,
Yep.
I can see that one. So I'll try aiming at that one next.
21 is a hit with the extra damage. So if you just hit the 2d6 plus 2 plus 1d6, that'll be. And then click both of those buttons in the chat bar and you'll be good.
Okay. $21?
That one, like, it hits and it, like, partially shatters, parts fall off of it. It has definitely felt that.
Good.
Nice.
Okay.
Now I hope that there's not just an army of them outside.
And that will take us to Bismarck, Jinx, and Ruth.
I'm wishing I hadn't used that multi-target lightning strike. Oh well. I'm gonna go for a standard shot.
Okay. $18 is a miss. These things are they're made of ice, but pretty solid, like through and through. Okay, Ruth.
Well, first I'm winding up our little buddy.
Okay. Bismarck's a real boy again.
Yay.
Do you identify as male?
Bismarck? Not really.
And I'm going to cast Nature's Wrath.
All right.
I'd say he identifies as a toaster, but he never made us breakfast.
He identifies as an alarm clock, is what he identifies as.
He usually complains when we have breakfast, like the whole time. And then for the rest of the day.
You're
He's
not wrong.
the anti-toaster.
That's right. That's Bismarck. He's the anti-toaster. These meat bags eating all the time.
And if they're not eating, they're sleeping
Or drinking.
We're bleeding.
or drinking or bleeding. That's true.
You can roll your 3d6 for damage there, Trevor.
All right. Basically, I sent a wrath of vines against them.
So down where Thagor is fighting them. That's not bad damage. So this these vines just erupt out of the stone floor just in front of you there, Thagor, and they start like wrapping around these creatures and throwing them here and tossing them there and shattering two of them and wrapping up some, and it's an impressive display of nature-ish might.
I'm fine with it.
And Ruth, that will also boost your health by a number equal to the level of the spell.
Temporarily? Because I think I'm full.
No, it's a boost to health. It's not healing. It raises your maximum health by the power of the spell for 1 minute.
So now my health is... It went up by how much?
It was what, a level 3 spell?
Yep.
So your health now is 48.
Spectacular.
And that stacks every time you cast a nature spell. Your health goes up by 1 minute by an amount equal to the level of the spell.
Cool.
Bismarck.
All right, I'm going to use a triggered action to use a casting of, let's say I need a level 1 or greater. Let's say Cure.
Okay.
To empower the sword even more.
Okay.
And I'm going to try to, I assume this is a minor action, just touch it again.
Yeah, you can touch it.
So I can wield it?
You can certainly try.
I'm going to try to use it as an implement to cast a very low-level spell, just in case. Because I can use it as my implement.
Yep.
Well, I think the only thing that saved you the first time you touched it was the fact that you powered down and became an object. But by all means, jump back on that horse.
Try to find out if it happens over and over, right? So I'm going to use Unerring Darts.
Okay. All right. Which one would you like to hit?
I like to hit all three of them.
Okay.
And I get 2 bonus D6s for damage.
Okay.
Focus fire, damn you.
I just want to see if this sword just annihilates anything that it touches. So, or if it works with spells, or if I have to actually hit it with the sword.
I mean, that's how swords generally work.
Yeah, for most people, but I turn swords into wands.
Right. So you fire out these darts. So that'd be...
So the guy in front gets what, 3 darts plus 5, and then 2 darts plus 4, and then just 2.
So So these darts fling out, and you do get the extra boost of power from your abilities, but the darts don't seem to have as strong an impact as you would have hoped.
Important thing to know. It's worth knowing.
Okay, that's everybody. The elves are gonna close in. They'll basically they'll start trying to like hold the door, push them back. They've got like spears and shields up, definitely like a phalanx type of situation, like shield wall, spears up. You can tell that they are definitely highly trained troops. Not terribly effective, but trained. So yeah, so they kind of fall into the battle there, kind of backing up Thagor. And at the end of the round, everybody give me a perception check.
I still got a second boon. Might as well use it.
I'm busy.
Okay, everybody except for Bismarck and Thagor, both of whom are somewhat occupied. You hear a tremendous crashing sound from above you, and the entire chamber shakes.
Uh-oh.
Is it from above us?
Yes, from above.
That's not good.
The three of them. They're just going to start laying into some elves. So yeah, so there's some NPC on NPC violence happening over there with Thagor kind of stuck in the middle of it. Blows going back and forth, elves getting wounded, elementals getting wounded. It is a free-for-all down there. Start of the round. Sif and Jinx and Ruth, you notice cracks starting to form in the ceiling of the vault.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
I think it's coming in from above.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
I think I'll be fast.
I think I'm going to be slow this time.
Okay. So, Ruth and Thagor.
I'm going to turn into form of the Oak Guardian. That makes me big and powerful and strong. And am I big and powerful and strong enough to try to brace the ceiling?
You can certainly try.
Strength check.
Yes, it is a strength check.
All right. So what's my strength? I get strength with a boon.
Yep.
Do I have any other boons set aside? I don't think I do. Nothing like. Can I use a fort?
You could use your prayer ability.
Yeah, let's do that.
Be
So two
strong, little
boons.
tree. Be strong.
Big tree, little dwarf. I'll take that.
So yeah, so as these cracks start to appear in the ceiling, Ruth just kind of grows up to like this 10-foot tall oak tree, branches spread out and kind of braces against the ceiling.
I'm getting my Groot on.
And Ruth, you can tell that it's not just that there's a lot of weight there, but there's there's something pressing down on it. Like it's not just dead weight. There is something pressing down on top of that weight. Thagor.
Right. Well, I've only got one in front of me right now, so I guess I'll swing at him and swing for the fences. There's a 22.
That is a good solid hit.
And I think it's 2 extra dice, or maybe 3.
It
2.
would be 2 extra dice.
Oh, ignore that last one. So it's 16 altogether.
So yeah, you just kind of like glance backwards. You see Ruth growing up and holding the ceiling. Then you just kind of like put all your weight into a hammer swing, and it just shatters into a bunch of little ice cubes. Slow actions. That would be Bismarck, Jinx, and Sif.
Okay, so the roof above us is looking a bit unsteady. Are there, obviously there's these sort of structures within, do any of them offer any sort of shelter should this collapse?
Yeah, they're like kind of like natural pillars and columns that.
So I'm probably in a good spot is the main thing.
Yeah.
Okay, is it possible for me to shoot at the invading icelings?
Yep.
I'll give it a shot.
There's 2 left. Might as well not let the elves kill them all. They're pretty bad at it.
26 is definitely it.
That's 3d6 extra damage I do, or is it 4d6 now?
It's 3d6 more.
So I rolled an additional 9.
Right, that is enough to drop that one. And
Is there to hit a 20? Because I rolled a 26, and that means I think I get a second shot.
it does.
So I'm gonna second shot him.
Okay.
Wah, wah.
So you draw your fire and shatter one, and then you go to fire at the other one, but it's basically buried under a scrum of elves and Thagor. That will take us to Bismarck and Sif.
I'm gonna move and then shoot that one remaining one.
Okay.
So I'm gonna move down to here.
Okay.
Actually, I'll go over here. It's still within my range.
Oh yes, you got a longbow.
Yeah, I've got a decent speed, but it's just mainly so that I'm not, shooting my dwarf pal in the back. I have enough bad history with shooting party members. I don't need to add to it. I'll mark him. Oh, that was
Thagor
terrible.
appreciates the effort.
Okay. Important to note though, because of your explorer, if you roll a 5 or less on your d20 roll, you can roll another d20 and add it.
Sweet. I don't remember what I rolled on which dice.
Just roll a d20 and add it.
I rolled a 3. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So you just roll another d20 and add it to that. Right. That will definitely hit.
Good. Is it just the extra 1d6 or is it 3d6 again?
3d6 because you marked it.
Okay. So 20 total.
24 total.
Oh.
15 and 9.
Yes. Sorry, I was looking at the 11.
That's just enough to kill that one. So you kind of move into position and line up your shot, and like right between the eyes of this creature, it drops. The elves will basically kind of fall in. They will leave space for Thagor if he so chooses. But the elves,
What?
the elves are gonna like kind of line up.
Sif is going to call out what's crashing around upstairs.
Well, as you look, you see a gigantic, like 3 claws, kind of pierce the roof and start to pull it back.
Oh, that's not good. That's bad. That's very, very bad.
Did someone forget to tell us that Old Man Winter was a bloody giant?
Sif, make a perception check.
Well, I mean, Ruth is technically the expert. But
Actually, Ruth, give me a perception check as well, since you're like right there.
I was just being a smartass.
Yep, but she does have the best view of anybody currently.
I only rolled an 11.
Yeah, both of you. Those are definitely reptilian claws.
What the heck
Is
is
dragon?
Dragon?
I'm guessing. I don't know.
Is Old Man Winter a dragon?
Hey, is Old Man Winter a dragon? Can I roll for that? Do I have a history on that?
You sure can. That is an intellect check with 2 boons. Old Man Winter, much like the Queen of Summer and the Moon Maiden and the other old gods, are generally shapeshifters.
Okay. Might be a dragon today.
The myths and legends are that they, some stories are, Old Man Winter is literally an old man. Others, he's like a pure white stag. Others, he's the hares, the winter hares. Sometimes an ermine, sometimes a dragon. But all of the old gods do have some degree of shape-shifting capability. Throw it around. Everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
I will stay fast.
Okay.
Are the elves reacting to this revelation at all?
The elven warders are basically trying to hold that door from the onslaught of elementals that are coming in.
Oh, okay.
They have basically formed like a elven wall bulwark type of position, like shields out, interlocked, spears out, holding that doorway, so that your position does not get overrun.
A very skinny wall.
We needed that in the very first session.
We did, actually.
Excuse me. All right, Ruth, I think you're the only one on fast actions.
I'm going to keep trying to brace this thing.
Okay. In that case, it is going to actually be a contested strength roll.
All right, I'll keep my prayer going so I get the 2 boons.
Okay.
Uh-oh.
So you're like you've got your roots kind of extended here, and it is pressing down, and you're managing to keep the ceiling from collapsing in on anybody. But you can tell that this thing on the other side is massively strong. You guess that you've only got maybe 20, 30 seconds before it breaks through.
All right.
Bismarck.
I'm
It's
gonna
coming
move.
through, guys.
I assume I could see these claws.
Yes.
Well, I can't hit it with the sword. We can't like annihilate Winter. So
I mean, you also absorb its power, so maybe you could.
maybe that'll be a last resort.
Well, I'm not saying it's the best idea, but kill Winter, absorb Winter. You become Winter. There's still Winter. It's not the worst case.
Well, yeah, you're not wrong. Let's just see if we can hurt it first. Let's start with that. Fire off explosive darts.
Right.
And that'll do 2 extra d6 thanks to Spellbinder Weapon. I assume it's far enough away I can target it since it's so big
Yep.
and not hit anybody else.
Oh, that's a super low agility roll.
It has a boon as well.
It does.
I think. I shouldn't say that too loud.
And then the damage. So 3 darts, so 3 damage. So
It does not have a boon. Sorry.
it does actually.
Or a bane. Does
Yeah. It doesn't have any banes now. So everything there takes d6 plus 1 damage. So 3 darts, so that'd be 3d6 plus 6 plus 9. So it's 3d6 plus 15.
it? Oh, sorry. It's 3, right? So I need
Yeah.
2 more of these. So 14 plus 9, 23.
23. Okay. Okay. So these darts, chunks from the ceiling fall down because they do explode in a 1 yard radius. And there's a like very primal growl that comes. I'm going to need everybody to give me a willpower check.
Oh boy, Bismarck.
Oh, this is not good.
Biz is not known for his will.
Bismarck is going to take 6 insanity.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Holy.
What kind of wizard would need willpower anyway?
Sif, you're a little bit further away. So Bismarck, you now know that you have this thing's attention. And that feeling just fills you with dread.
Is that a triggered action on his turn?
Yes.
Can I use a triggered action as well?
Yes, what would you like to do?
I would like to use hilarity.
Okay.
Run away.
Try to find where it won't fit.
Just in case it becomes important. Crying is a free action.
Bismarck usually just powers down at a panic.
Yeah, no, I'm done. Sorry. Toaster pops.
I'm out.
So Bismarck, you realize that you have this thing's attention, and that fills you with a sense of dread. Stiff, it's a more existential thing. You realize that the size of this thing, the odds of death are probably pretty high, and you know that because of the things that you've done, the things that you've seen, when you die, you're going to hell. There is no hope of redemption for you.
Oh, lovely. That's wonderful.
That's in case it comes up, that's what happens if you die and you have corruption.
Yeah, grand. Great.
Yep.
Am I taking insanity from this revelation?
That was the 2 that you took.
I already had 2.
All right, so you get 2 more.
Oh, okay. Oh, there we go.
And both of you are frightened for a number of turns equal to your current insanity rating.
Ooh.
Ouch. Alrighty.
So that was Bismarck's turn. Jinx, Ruth, Sif, and Thagor.
I went slow because I figured I was going to have to wind up Bismarck again. I'm going to cast Beast Within.
Chances were good.
So your tree gets all like furry and prickly, and
I return to my normal size.
Okay.
I went slow, so can I attack with that? Can I even attack this thing?
you cannot. It is still up in the ceiling.
Okay, well, I'm not fighting it anymore. So that ceiling might be coming down.
Right. So yeah, you realize that you can't hold this thing at bay, and you just kind of shrink down and get ready for what might be a bit of an issue. That will leave us with Jinx, Sif, and Thagor.
Can I throw that freeze spell I stole at it?
Yeah, you can try to hit its claws.
I mean, they're huge. We can see it enough for it to fear us. So I don't have an action for it. So
Okay, it's an agility check on its part. So yeah, so you like fire off that freeze spell up there, and it pulls its claws back just in time, just kind of instinctually. But you do freeze an area there enough to maybe buy you another round or so before it breaks through. This beam of water just flows out of your hand and then freezes on contact.
drat. Oh, if only it was opposed, I probably would have won that one. That's my one good stat.
So that will take us to Sif and Thagor.
Well, nobody else is going for it, so I guess it'll be Thagor. Thagor is gonna go grab the sword.
Does Bismarck have the sword?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh, do you?
he basically
Oh.
harnessed it with his magic and then fused it onto his like tail.
Okie dokie. I thought it was still in the middle of the room.
Nope, I'll hide with it.
In that case, I'm gonna get to shelter because the ceiling looks like it's coming down.
Okay. So yeah, as a dwarf, you know, like if you're around any of these like formations, they will provide you a fair bit of cover when the ceiling collapses.
Everybody get to cover if you can.
I'm pretty much in a cover spot, aren't I? That was kind of what I was trying to check earlier.
Yes, you are. Sif.
I'm going to run down to where the elves are and retrieve my arrows.
Okay. You can retrieve half of what you fired.
That's it. I don't think I've got anything I can aim at yet because it pulled its claw back.
End of the round. The ceiling cracks significantly. You can see like large jaws like pulling pieces of stone out of the way along with the claws. but it is held back by 1 turn because of that ice barrier that Jinx inadvertently threw up.
Nice.
All right.
Ruth, get out of there.
Right. So yes, that would be everybody. So, right, so Ruth is kind of moving out of the way just in case the ceiling comes down.
Pretty much, yep.
Alrighty.
Oh, it's coming down.
Yeah, for when it comes down, I guess. That will take us to Jinx, Ruth, Sif, and Thagor.
Thagor will ready a swing of the hammer, just in case there becomes something to swing it.
Okay. Bismarck, Jinx, and Sif.
I'm knocking an arrow and pointing it toward what looks to be a weak spot in the ceiling, waiting, thinking that's where it's going to come through.
Okay.
And holding my arrow.
Okay. Bismarck and Jinx.
I'm gonna cast Cure on myself. Cure 1 insanity.
Okay.
What does it mean that someone becomes incapacitated? That means they basically hit 0.
Yes.
Okay, so I have a spell that specifies that. So basically, it's removes a death save. That's all.
Yep.
Okay. I feel like we're mostly letting the guards handle the doorway while we're just waiting for this thing to come out.
You got it.
Yep.
I probably don't know that Jinx has, or that Bismarck actually has that link to the sword. Do we need the sword out of the center?
Bismarck has it.
Oh, he actually has it. Okay, that's fair. Well, then I won't fetch it. I guess I'm gonna basically be ready to attack as it comes through.
Oh god.
So yes, so this this gigantic serpentine head pokes through the ceiling.
This is fine.
This is fine.
This is
Fine
not fun.
is the word you're looking for. Not at all.
Kind of like looks around, huffs.
Oi, what are you waiting for? Come get it.
It's
Hmm.
size 8. We're size 1. Just pointing that out.
Some of us are size a half, just so you know.
But it sees all these juicy targets down here by the door.
Oh no.
So I'm going to need Sif and a whole bunch of elves to make agility checks.
Oh, they died how they lived.
With-
Cold pricks.
With 2 banes.
Anyone want to give Sif a little prayer?
Yeah, sure. I'm praying for you, Sif.
Okay.
Appreciate it.
Thoughts and prayers. Oh boy.
Thoughts and prayers. That's about all I've got right
No,
now.
just prayers. Just prayers. I got other things on my mind. That big
Sorry,
freaking
no,
ice
no.
dragon.
So does the Ruth's prayer cancel out my bane?
You get 2 banes, and then the prayer from Ruth brings it down to 1 bane. If you've got anything else to give you a bane or a boon,
I was looking at my talents, but I don't think any of them are geared toward agility.
they are not. I believe you have fortune points though, so you can turn a failure into a success if you need to.
There is a fighter one. I don't know if it's different for rangers. It probably is.
It is, yeah. All right, you succeed, so you're only going to take half damage. So you take 22.
Oh shit. That's half?
That's half.
That's a pretty
All
good
fun and
fireball
games
he's
until
got there.
somebody loses a PC.
No, I'm okay for now.
So yeah, so this thing pokes its head down through and just lets out this like huge breath of like freezing cold weather. And Stiff, you see like all of the elves around you just freeze solidly through.
Uh-oh.
We should add it onto the initiative tracker. All right. So that was its first action. Everybody can decide if they would like to be fast or slow.
You can. Yeah, never mind. I'm frightened. It doesn't matter.
It didn't come to get me, so I gotta go to it, I guess.
Okay. Ruth and the Avatar are both on fast actions.
I'm going to use Pounce.
Okay.
Not using Pounce.
So Ruth charges at it. You do get to move up to twice your speed.
Missed it by that much.
Gonna use Nibble.
Okay. On its turn, it will elect to move before it acts.
Ooh. Hey, it's in reach now. Do I get to swing? I had it ready to attack.
Yes, you can.
Sweet. Ooh, there we go. 23.
23 just barely hits.
Oh, Jesus. Okay, sure. Is it 2 extra or 3? 2.
2.
Yeah. So that's going to be 15, 19 altogether.
Okay. So it was chasing Ruth, and you kind of step out from around the corner and hit it, and it just turns. And then it is just, it is a,
Crack at the chin.
it is nothing but claws and teeth, and it is just nasty.
How can something that big move that fast?
Come get it, Beastie.
So it'll be a 27 for one claw.
Sure.
This is on me?
No, on Thagor, he stepped in the way.
Thank you, Thagor.
30 with the second claw.
Good lord.
Sure.
And only a 22 with the bite.
That'll miss.
So it is going to be a total of 15 damage.
Do those count as weapons or no?
I will say yes, they do.
Sweet.
And I need you to make a willpower check with 3 banes.
Okay.
You better be pretty good with this sword, Bismarck.
We're holding tough.
All right. So yeah, this thing, you're like, you know that you're quite possibly in trouble, but you also know that, you know, you probably just saved Ruth's life, and that kind of steals your resolve a little bit.
Thagor is a very small, very dense rock.
And that will take us to Bismarck, Jinx, Sif, and Thagor, because you just used the readied action.
Yeah.
All right. So we're in a room with walls, right?
Yes.
So my idea that if someone's able to give me a prayer as a bonus, I will take it. Is I think I want to try to use fuse, and I basically want to stick baby in a corner
Okay.
if it works.
Did I already use my thing on Sif, or was that last turn?
That was last turn.
All right, you get a prayer.
Thanks, because it's an intellect roll against their will, so all the boons I can get are very valuable because we want this to work. So intellect attack roll against their will. On success, they're teleported to an open space on a solid surface within medium range. So
Okay.
I basically, and then they're fused to the surface. So I'm trying to get it. It still can whip its head around, but I'm trying to take its claws.
It's very
Okay.
close to this wall here.
It is very close to a wall there.
Yeah, I'm just basically trying to get stuck in a corner a little bit. I'm trying to hinder it.
Yep. So you do have one Bane because of its magic resistance, but
Jesus. Can I use a fortune point to re-roll?
you can use.
And I guess prayers it didn't give me an option to use boons, so I don't even know how this works.
Yeah, a prayer is not likely to help you there, even if you roll a
Right.
6.
But I have a fortune point. You said you can use a fortune point to re-roll?
For a success, I think.
I think it's to turn a challenge into a success, but let's double check because this is pretty clutch.
Well, it is a challenge, right? Because it's an attack roll.
And it's an opposed roll. Oh no, it's opposed against
Right.
their will. So yes, there is a
Yeah.
solid number I am trying to roll again.
Yeah, when the result of the D20 roll is a failure, you can expend a fortune to turn the failure into a success.
I've got a fortune point.
Alrighty.
Oh, now's the time.
I guess the boons don't come into play, but whatever, we use them. We'll say that's how it works.
Yeah, even with the boons, that would not be a success, but
Right.
your fortune point does turn it into one.
Okay. So it's 66.
Yep.
And it is fused to the floor.
All right.
The only way to remove this affliction is to either destroy the object in which the target is fused, or to take an action to saw off an imprisoned limb.
All right.
I glue trapped the dragon.
Nice.
It's a strategy of rogues everywhere.
I'm not complaining.
Nope, not at all.
I see there's I think I understand the reason why we only get a single fortune point at a time.
All right. So yeah. So as this thing turns its attention to Thagor, Jinx just kind of comes up and basically you see this like spatial distortion around the dragon as it just suddenly shifts and phases with part of the pedestal, part of the wall, part of the floor, and it just like whips its head around and glares at her. That will leave us with Bismarck, Jinx, and Thagor.
No, I just went, so I'm not in
Oh,
there anymore.
sorry.
But only if I had succeeded, because then I would have gotten the boons on damage.
Yeah.
Or the extra damage dice.
Is it off, Thagor?
All right, well, give him another crack here.
You do have a boon because it is immobilized.
Oh, take it. That's less than 9. We'll roll again. There we go. That becomes a, let's see, 8 and 16 is 24.
24 is a hit, but not enough to trigger the forceful strike.
Gotcha. Right, so that is 6 and 8 is 14.
Right. So yeah, you crack it, and it's like its head is turning. Like every time it gets attacked, its head is just whipping around. Bismarck and Sif.
I'm going for a Hail Mary, Sif, so you might as well go first.
Well, I'm going to run, hopefully in a spot where I'll have some cover. And then I'm going to try to shoot it. I will use heart kill. I will not activate heart kill, but I will target or mark him as my prey.
Okay, so that will give you a boon because he's immobilized and a boon because he's your prey.
Cool. Does that cancel out my ones from being frightened?
You have a bane from being frightened, and then
Okay.
so -1 and then +2, so net +1.
Nice. Or, it might not matter.
Okay, again no, because you rolled less than a 5 on the die, you get to add a d20 to that. Oh, you get to add another 2.
I'm really not meant to hit him.
Kick
this
its
way.
ass.
Oh yeah, I'm trying hard.
All right, Bismarck.
All right, so I'm going to move, and then I'm going to use a triggered action for celerity again.
Okay.
Which I've measured out a few times that lets them get to here. And then I'm going to cast augmented attack with a net, I believe. I'm -1 because I'm frightened. +2 from the spellbound, +1 from it being stuck, and +1 for the spell. So net +2.
1 sec, let me dig up the sword stats.
And it didn't give me the option.
And 2 more from the sword itself. So yes, so a 26 will hit.
2 more from the sword, and I think there should be 2 more from...
Okay, so the base sword is 3d6.
So sword gives me 3. -1 from being frightened.
Not for damage.
No, just for... no, I'm just trying to do the 2-hit thing.
Oh, 26 hits.
Right. There's no special, so it doesn't matter.
Right. So the sword is a base 3d6 plus whatever your augments and stuff give you.
5d6 total.
1 sec, guys.
Okay.
5d6, and hopefully this sword does something. $14.
Okay. And give me a willpower challenge.
Boons or beans?
I don't believe so.
Probably not. But...
No, it is a willpower attack roll against the target's strength.
Is this good or bad for me?
Sorry about
This is bad for you.
I will succeed
Okay.
with a fortune point.
All right. So yes, so the way the Sword of Unmaking works is you make that willpower check. If you succeed, it takes damage equal to half its health.
Jeez.
And if you fail, you take damage equal to half your health.
That's a double-edged sword.
Eek.
Clearly.
Yeah, very.
And I'm the wrong guy holding this. Thankor should have this weapon.
No, yes and no, because half health is half health, no matter what.
So yeah, so as Jinx fuses this thing to the platform, Bismarck just kind of rushes around and swings the sword, and there's this blinding flash of power. And you feel it get absorbed into that sword. And the sword feels temporarily sated. Now the important question. Do you absorb its powers or do you let it die?
Oh, fuck. That's
Power
that's
can help
that's
get you
Old
free.
Man Winter, right?
Yes.
Free you from.
Do I have time to talk to the group about it, or do I have to do it just now?
I'll say you can feel that power wants to go somewhere. It's either going into the sword to be consumed, or it's going into something or someone.
Root. The sword has it's going to cease to exist. The essence of winter. What do we do?
We can't have that. Send it to me.
Come here.
I run over. I'm still in my beast form, so I can run real fast.
Right.
Where are you, you little bugger? I can't see these small icons. Wherever Bismarck is, Ruth just ran over there real fast.
Okay.
Bismarck does not want to be an aspect of winter by any means. Does he believe he can give that power to Ruth, or how does that work?
Probably, you can feel like it's in the sword. Whoever is wielding the sword is either the sword is going to consume the power, or whoever is wielding the sword, it's going to get transferred.
Right now, no, hold on, and don't move a muscle. This is probably going to be very uncomfortable. Then he will clasp Ruth's hands around the hilt of the sword.
Okay.
And do what he can to help, I guess.
So as Bismarck is holding the sword, you guys can all feel like the winds in this chamber are starting to pick up. It is cold. There's snow. It is unnatural, obviously. But you can feel that there is power that is essentially it's like power looking for a conduit or for a ground. It seems to be focused on the sword, and the sword seems to be kind of pulling it in. And as he kind of passes it to Ruth, you can see the winds and everything start to circle the two of them. Like imagine it's our big MCU, Soul Gem type of special effects. Only blue, not purple. And then Ruth is gone.
Where's the sword?
The sword is still there, but it feels empty now. The winds die down. It's quiet.
Bismarck will summon the sword back to his hand. Jinx, do you any idea what just happened?
Well, you gave Ruth the power, right? Probably gone to do winter things.
Winter seems important, right?
Yeah. Natural cycle and nonsense. I don't know.
I mean, she was always talking about that sort of thing. So,
Any of the elves still alive?
Not here. There's a bunch of frozen elf statues. But that's about it.
What about the lady elf?
She is still here. She is looking very kind of drawn, like she was probably using power for something behind the scenes.
Oh, yeah.
So-
At least there's a witness that could say that we didn't, make off with it or something.
Unless
Is
you
the,
make off with
is
it.
the dragon dead?
It's not here.
The sword ate it, and Bismarck put its power in Ruth, and now Ruth is the winter thing.
well, I mean, that's the theory.
I mean, on the upside, Ruth always wanted the elves to
Wipe out mankind.
Well, whatever. I was gonna say pay attention to you, but whatever. I mean, it's your jam.
Yeah, Ruth now does have the power to do what she's always wanted.
That's not good.
That seems like a summer problem. The important thing is we didn't let the demons get the sword. Put that thing back, probably though.
Yes, I was just thinking about that. So Bismarck walks over and puts the sword back where it belongs.
Okay.
See if
And
it'll
then-
stick in the floaty pedestal thing.
Let it do its float thing, and then he hunkers down and stays right there.
Bismarck, give me intelligence check. With you can have 2 boons. Okay.
Technically.
So yes, so as Thegor mentions that, at least with the demons didn't get it, makes you realize that the Old Man Winter was a tool. He was not the architect.
Right, but by our understanding, the demons can't actually get in here, right?
Correct.
Which
The
is-
sword is safe from the demons.
But
yeah, so Bismarck's more.
But if
Right.
the sword is empty, that means Ruth is somewhere and is vulnerable.
No, I think Ruth is something else now. Now, my thinking, and maybe I'm wrong, is that the heralds are gone. We need to find a way to track them down.
Well, there's one left, right? He's just not here.
Correct.
The actual demon.
Oh no, Harold. The when Harold, the demon, the demon was here, it'd be a bigger problem. I think if I understand how it works. But
All right.
if the Herald needs the sword to continue his plan, and we make sure the sword is kept safe, then that's a win, right?
Yeah, I
I
guess.
think so.
We just gotta find where this last herald is and go whoop his ass. Can't be
Well-
that hard.
I expect Ruth might know where it is.
Oh, I expect Ruth will be able to find us if and when they want.
Is no one else concerned about this?
Is there anything that can be done for the guards, or are they just like it's just entombed and nice?
They are entombed, shattered.
Okay.
My medical diagnosis is dead as hell.
If anyone wants it, I'll offer first aid. Like I don't know if Sif has anything that needs binding. There's various magic spells, so it's always like, did I miss something? But
Sif is at just under 2/3 for hit points.
Oh, you're
Oh.
doing great. Look at you
Yeah.
go.
I mean, compared to some fights we've been in, absolutely. The insanity, though.
was it intelligence roll for me to do healing?
Yes.
I'll use a healing kit to try to just patch up Sif a little bit.
Okay. And you do get 2 boons because of your medical training and having an actual medical kit.
And I mean, technically, I got 1 per turn anyway, too. So
Yep.
When does my fear wear off now that we're not in combat?
It lasts for about a minute or so. If it's number of rounds equal to your new insanity total, so.
Yes. But we ran
so
out of rounds before.
Sif, you get half your healing right back.
Okay.
So yeah, so your frightened is gone. The insanity is lingering a bit, but
Oh, I don't suppose there's a good spot to get a pint of ale around here.
yeah, the queen will speak up. We have wine.
Ah. You're welcome. Let's be going then, shall we?
But I think I think my place is going to be here.
Is it?
Yeah,
You've been gung ho to beat these heralds all along.
I think maybe I might be missing something, but I think that Harold been defeated. We'd have to check the sky to be sure, but if Ruth is essentially a god, then I expect that she can solve this particular last herald.
Ruth is actually short for ruthless. That's her real name.
That's okay.
I mean, is she going to solve it though?
I wouldn't want to be
Gods.
that. I wouldn't want to be that village that attacked her. But
Gods haven't done nothing much for us so far. And Thagor's I mean, he'll look back for a minute, but he's like, well, why don't you come with us at least to take a look at the sky outside, just in case you're right. Then you can tell me you told me so.
But right, that makes some sense. And
Otherwise, we probably need to get on the road again.
I'm still bound to the sword, so I suppose I could be some distance away from it.
Is the sword here?
It's back in the spinny floaty thing, I think, unless it's not working.
Yeah, no, Thagor put it back. Or
Okay,
not
I
Thagor,
thought it vanished.
yeah, Bismarck put it back.
Bismarck. I thought it vanished with Ruth.
Nope.
Well, yeah, I suppose we should go see if we could find Mortal Sky somewhere.
Right. Let's go outside and have a look.
All right. So yeah, so the queen will lead you up above ground. It is the palace is like destroyed. Like a big giant dragon tore through it. Everywhere you look, you see, frozen elves, pieces of elves. It was definitely there while you guys were down below. There was definitely an attack and a holding action of some sort above ground. The queen looks older. You don't think she's sad necessarily. You're not familiar with elves. You don't know what their emotional state is like, but she definitely looks older. But she personally leads you to the gates.
Yeah, Thagor is not going to comment at all.
Can we have some kind of invitation so we can come back here in case we need to do this again?
She kind of looks to each of you. She says, "You may come at any time, as long as I am queen."
Right. Well, good luck.
And
that's all. That's all Thagor will say.
So, she will kind of reach down and kind of thank Bismarck for volunteering to guard the sword, and you feel this little a little spark inside as you realize that you're probably free now.
Oh,
You might be a real boy someday.
There's definitely it's weird. Bismarck's always been very kind of very mechanical, very analytical. But you feel you're not sure what exactly they're, having never really experienced emotions or hunger or anything like that before, but definitely something there as she thanks you. And she'll look to Jinx and she'll say, although your people have been exiled for quite some time, your bravery here speaks highly. Perhaps when you come back, we will converse.
Thank you.
And to Sif, she'll look at the bow and she'll say, Heartkiller was never meant to be wielded by a mortal, by a human. And there's a slight disdain in her voice when she says it. But you have weathered its curse more than any of its previous wielders. Good luck with it.
Thank you.
And then she'll basically open the passageway so you guys can go back to the mortal world. And Bismarck, give me a perception check with 2 boons, I believe it was.
For heraldry.
No, not for heraldry, for astrology or astronomy. So it takes you a moment to kind of get your bearings, just because of the nature of the Mistwood and the fact that you are a significant distance from where you were last time you looked at the stars. But things do look right. Everything seems to be in its proper place for now.
Well, see now, Tagore, I don't want to say I told you so, but
What?
everything seems fine.
Spit it out.
The hair where they belong. The threat to the world is well, at least for now. I believe abated.
Ah, good. Then you can buy me a beer.
Don't think I have any money.
Well, then we better work on that.
Well, yeah, I suppose so.
And then just to kind of wrap things up, we'll just kind of go around and everybody can explain the closing montage for their character over the next weeks, months, years. Where does your character go from this point? So let's start with Ruth, who is now the embodiment of winter.
Ruth is a perfect embodiment of winter, actually, because she is ruthless, but she's also well trained to love nature and nurture nature. So that doesn't mean she's not going to lose her temper once in a while, and there's going to be massive storms. But overall, she will definitely. I think she'd make a good winter. I think she's got the personality and the history for it.
Bismarck.
Oh, one other thing.
Yep.
That in her origin, that town that she was driven away from and her family was all killed.
Yep.
That town's going to have the worst winters forever. It's basically going to be uninhabitable. She's got a little bit of spite left.
Not enough to just wipe it off the map, but enough to make them miserable.
Yeah, basically, it's like everybody's going to leave because the winter's going to be so bad.
Just
It's like
keep giving
the
them hope.
the next village down has great crops. This one's they're barely in the ground yet.
You know, it won't stop people. People will stay there, and they'll be the toughest bastards you ever seen.
Almost
And
as tough as
so-
dwarves.
Oh, sure.
You founded Winnipeg.
Fair enough.
Right.
Hopefully, you build them a better sewer system.
Colder than Mars.
Bismarck.
Nude on the moon with your pecker out cold.
Yeah, so Bismarck's big motivation was to be free, and he has that now. So, I don't know what he would do. He's so new. He's only a couple years old. So, I kind of see Bismarck shackling himself to Thagor and just following him around to see what the real world's like, because he's always like off board with Biz. Biz has always had to go back to the tower to work for his master, right? Where anytime we were off board, you guys were doing whatever. He was always working, right? So, him and Thagor have that little relationship that they have. I think he would just follow the dwarf around.
Seems fair.
Like some sort of weird little buddy comedy.
Yeah.
Jinx.
I'm not fully sure. Jinx took some turns I wasn't expecting. I was never expecting to go into caster. So I'm sitting here trying to think what has Jinx become now.
She does have an invitation to speak with the Fairy Queen, which is something that no goblin ever has had.
It's true, and you've learned how to steal magic. Once you start stealing magic, I don't see why you wouldn't want to steal more.
I think there's definitely a further exploration into magic. Um, I think they would be interested in seeing, in learning if, like, I don't know what a conversation with the Fairy Queen would involve, but it would definitely be something new and something to learn.
Would she actually go and like go to the Tower of the Arcane, like formal study, or continue to pick it up on her own?
I think I mean, Jinx sort of went more into teleportation. The arcane would probably became almost became the supporting magic rather, compared to the teleportation. So I think that would still be as it was discovered.
Sif.
No idea. Being a constable is going to seem awfully tame compared to the last few months. I think she's going to try to see if there's some kind of way to get rid of that corruption. And she too may just wander around with Thagor for a bit at least. Just to kind of get her feet back under herself now that things aren't constantly wild and dangerous. Kind of get used to normal life again.
Well, as normal as it can be.
Well, I mean,
You
there's no
do have an
dragon
heir to
chasing.
get.
Would Sif actually, because the primary ways to get rid of corruption are by dedicating your entire life to the pursuit of good. Would you do such a thing like in a formal way? Like would you turn to religion, or would you just basically try to be a good person?
She believes in the old gods, so I don't really know that there's much of a dedication that she'd be able to do, since she has no skill whatsoever in magic.
Yeah, but she could still like follow some of their tenets and, you know, basically become more faithful to try to get rid of the corruption.
Yeah, she'll try to be a good person, but I don't see her like joining some.
Yeah, she doesn't go and become like a nun or something.
No.
That'd be hilarious.
That'd be pinning herself down into like one small little village. Being a constable seems too tame at the moment. So, no, I don't see her.
But basically trying to be a good person as she continues to explore the world.
Yeah, I think so.
Thagor.
Well, Thagor is still a young dwarf, actually, a young adult by dwarven standards. So I can see him adventuring for quite a long time after this. You know, going around helping where he can. Apparently, he's got a couple companions along for the ride. Getting paid when possible, and doing the right thing when it comes to that. I think eventually, though, he might gather some dwarves to him and form a community somewhere. Possibly assist with the restructuring of the place up north where it got all wiped out by the demons and such.
Okay.
Because all the people that were, corrupt and jerks got wiped out.
Excellent. Perfect. So yes, so having perhaps not necessarily saved the world, but at least stalled Armageddon, several of you seek out to more adventure, having gotten the bug.
Well, if you
I
want to do
mean-
some good and you want to do an adventure, we do happen to have an heir that needs to be returned home.
That's true.
I mean, sure, if that comes to it.
So yes, so as the party sits around drinking their beers, wines, whatever, wondering what sort of avatar of winter Ruth is going to turn out to be, that is where we will close our
Oh.
game.
Thagor has every confidence that it'll work out fine.
Well, Thagor is nothing if not confident.
Indeed.
If Ruth goes bad and decides to just freeze the world, well, the rest of us don't have to worry about our after story.
There you go.
Good news, we know where the sword is.
I think we had that frost dragon on the ropes. We could totally finish it off.
It was 2 stories tall, and I still missed.
Before
I know the feeling.
before Bismarck hit it with the sword, it had taken just over half of its health and damage.
Yeah, on the ropes.
Yeah, we're doing fine.
Yeah, no worries.
I mean, it one-shot everybody but you and maybe Sif, but
Only managed to score 7 damage on me. I was quite proud.
Well, I'm glad people got to use some of their abilities. Like Ruth got to hold the ceiling up. Bismarck got to use his spell, his augmented attacks. Sif got to use her rerolls. Thagor got to absorb some damage. Jinx got to fuse a dragon.
all pretty cool.
Yeah, that was big.
Great last session, Chris. Appreciate it.
Perfect.
Great whole series, actually. I really enjoyed that. Thanks.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
I think this game hates us, but outside of
I
that,
mean,
I think this game hates players. That's
this
all.
game hates
right?
the game hates players. Trevor's right.
Yeah.
I mean, I did like some of the dice reroll capabilities, or the you rolled horribly. Just
Yeah, once you get a reroll, you're looking a lot better.
yes.
The rerolls are like high end though. It's like level 9, level 10 when you start getting that stuff.
yeah, I skipped the whole rolling thing.
Oh, sure.
Way too swingy.
So-
Well, yeah. My electronic dice seem offended that I haven't been gaming enough, and they've just been trying to kill me for the past week and a half.
Oh, it's not as bad as Trevor at the last Conan game.
Oh my
Oh.
god, it was terrible.
Yeah,
The
brutal.
mechanics of a game don't necessarily have to be balanced for the game to still be fun.
Very
Yeah.
true.
That's true.
Alrighty.
If Deadlands taught me anything,
That's true. Deadlands is not balanced, but it is fun.
not at all.
All right, guys. Thanks
All right.
for the game. I'm
Perfect.
sure I'll see you all in the
Take care,
future.
folks. Yep.
Take care. That was
Yeah.
fun.
Keep me in
No
mind for
problem.
another game, guys. Cheers.
Will
nice
do.
to meet you. Man, nice to meet you, Tegan.
Nice to meet you all too.
We'll see you around.
Perfect. Yeah, we will see you around. I've got Stargate coming up. I've got an Alien one shot coming up. I've got.
Yeah, I'd like to try the Alien game.
I think I have one slot for the Alien game.
It's so
What?
brutal.
What day is it?
It is going to be November the 13th. That's a Saturday. It's just a one shot. We're doing on Crucible Gaming each Saturday in November. We're going to do a one shot of a different game with a different game master.
Oh, okay.
So like Mikhail is going to do Delta Green, B is going to do Torg Eternity, I'm going to do Alien, And originally Ryan was going to do Call of Cthulhu, but he found out that he's traveling for work that weekend, so we got to figure out what we're going to do on that Saturday. But
All right. Well, if you don't fill that spot and there's like a week left, let me know and I'll arrange my schedule so I can do it.
perfect. Yeah,
But get better players than me.
with the exception of one, there are two. One of the players has played twice. One of the players played once at EnvyCon. The rest are all new. And the Alien system, it's very simple, but it is very true to the movies.
Well, good luck, guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have a good shift.
Have a good night, guys.
See you later. Bye bye.
I'm actually taking it easy this week. I was supposed to be on vacation, but instead I'm just doing minimal hours.
Oh, nice.
That's almost.
Yeah.